You're really excited to see it. You glitched out a little bit.
What happened?
You glitched out a little bit.
Oh, I said I'm so excited to see what you're gonna put together.
I'm gonna whip something up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a gigantic love story where all the characters are perfectly set in place and all the roles perfectly planned out from our parents,
Oh,
sisters, brothers, to our partners, to our friends, to our jobs, to the pets we have. A whole synchronized love story that continues to play out till we transcend the play.
mm-hmm.
Anything to add on, Ash? You looked like you had.
I did have I forgot when. Maybe let it come back to me. It'll come back.
Welcome back.
Okay, so I just had a thought, like it came up in my brain. This is gonna be
Let's get it.
I don't know how to maybe like describe, but the kind of feeling I got was kind of like a childhood memory where it was so hype when, and even like to this day. Okay, I'll give you a better example. The Avengers and the whole concept of like the multiverse and seeing your favorite superheroes come together is like the exact same feeling that I get in general. Like I don't like before when I was little, that's the feeling I got like on a Disney Channel show or like a movie and stuff when things are connected. And for me, I feel like that's why I've always liked Disney so much, especially like growing up. Um, and to this day, it's because like you realize those like little things of like connect connecting those sort of things. And it's just like it's really nice and like soul like relieving. Like it relieves your soul to be able to connect in that sense. And it makes it easier for the brain to process even things as spiritual concepts because why do you think there's been so much conflict in the world? Because you how do you decode certain things if you're not open to it in the first place?
Yeah.
There's no agreement yet. Like there's no common like it's all kind of mixed up and I feel like I I see it and but it's just like I'm like how am I supposed to like what am I supposed to say?
Yeah, like how do you decode it if there's no contrast? You wouldn't even know what you
Yeah.
had to. Yeah. Oh man.
Mhm. Like I know I can probably sit here even for myself and like on my own like YouTube video out. But is the algorithm gonna push back? I don't think so. I don't know. Like it's just like seem like I'm meant well, was not meant to be there yet. But I feel like I'm reaching a point now where I'm like getting comfortable with getting to that point. Because it's like getting tiring for my soul. I'm like my soul's getting tired. Like it's it's time to surrender. And I feel like that's what made me tap into my divine feminine energy even more. And that's why I'm only like always in a receiving state. I'm always just like letting it all come to me. So I'm just like, give it to me. Like, but I always just like now try to just be as honest with myself as possible, even when it gets difficult. Because it's hard to face yourself. It's not easy. It's not an easy journey. But if you take the path, it'll lead you to great places. That's where I'm at.
Shit will take you home.
Yeah. I also really like your hat because it says good vibes only, and you're like, listen that like, I'm just like, I love that. I'm gonna steal that.
Goo vibes. Goo vibes only. I just went for a walk, not a walk, a run. Whew, so I'm a little bit overheated. I got the overheated status effect. No, but in all seriousness, in all seriousness, let me regain. I'm reshooting you versus you because I feel like I didn't do the first take any justice, so I'm gonna do it justice right here. Buddha has a quote. By the way, thank you guys for anyone who has checked out the whole of the series. I would say for the bonus ones you can jump around, but again, I think you should go back and watch the whole entire thing. I have the lovely soul with me, the lovely reflection, ashserenities. Ash, that is definitely my person. She is what's up. She's dope, down to earth. And if you guys ever connect with her, she's really dope. So yeah, out there doing big things. But yeah, shout out to her for basically really helping me with the series, to be honest, and helping me channel. So this you versus you video, Buddha has a quote. I am not who you think I am. You are who you think I am. And I love that quote because it's such a peaceful put down to a lot of things. I actually made a video that's going to be separate, but it was going to be called John 15:18, where Jesus had a quote in the Bible. And it's literally, you can look this up yourself, because a lot of people who read the Bible don't understand what they're reading, but when you're awakened and you go back and read it, whoo, they hit different. And I'm not going to say no one understands what they're reading. It's more, when I say that, I say more of they're like songs. It's like an art form. What was spoken, recorded of Jesus was like art. So when people go back, they interpret it different. But when you take on a higher perspective, you realize this dude was talking about everybody who was awakened. Man, he was saying things like, let the dead bury their dead. People don't get what he was saying. Like, he was saying, let the people who are walking around as the walking dead be the walking dead. You're coming with me. And John 15:18 even says it. Like, you're coming out of the world. Like, remember, when they hate you, they hated me first. Because if you were of the world that they are, they would love you, but you're not, because you're coming out of the world. Now, I think that's the best quote to start this video with, because it's true. I've had friends that I've known for years, friends that were even close, like family, turn and just say certain things that I know deep down in their heart, if they embodied unconditional love, they didn't mean. We're in a realm where we walked away from source. Like, people have to realize none of this was created. I was just actually talking to another girl about this the other day, that, like, you know, her friend, she was talking about like something to do with the airport. I'm not going to do the story justice, but you think about the things that people complain about and everything. It's like, wow, it never used to exist. All of this was manifested from somebody's mind, like all the creations down here. And people will say it's God's creations and all that. And it's like, yeah, because you're God. You're the essence of God. You can manifest destiny. Down here, you're the essence of God. So it's like we walked away from being this whole collective realm. And you hear that from people with near-death experiences. But this video is about you versus you. So I don't want to get too metaphysical in the beginning. But what I'm saying is that's why I truly don't judge. I've had what some people would literally call direct assault happen to me in the past months around my birthday. And I tell the story a lot, but I love to tell it because I love to tell how my emotions were. Because I realized for years that this whole thing was about frequency, vibration, and energy, and you're going to be tested. Like, this conditional world is supposed to test you. When you come out of the world and you're awakened and you're like, man, there's just nothing for me here. I'm exhausted. I don't want to keep up this frame. And I talk about it when you're like, man, like, everything that everyone's into, work until you're dead, all of this is all the stuff that you end up realizing when you have an awakening. And then it gets beautiful on the other side. But first is that tower moment. And you're going to be tested on your beliefs. It's not about who knows the most spiritual words and all that. No, it's you versus you. It doesn't matter what books you read. It doesn't matter if you know Sadhguru. It doesn't matter if you know Aaron or any of these dudes. And I love all these dudes. I really do. I love the gurus that seem closer to the heart, that tell you it's about going within. If anyone doesn't tell you to go within your heart and truly like discover the inner peace, they're lying to you. There's no book you need to read, nothing. And that's the question I had for years when I had my first awakening. Well, these people are saying fancy words and this and that, and maybe I got to learn the lingo, and whoa, maybe vegans are this and that. And when I say vegans are this, and I used to think like, oh, maybe they're onto something. And it's funny with B.O.B.'s new album, finishing off Space Time, where he even said it in the song, oh, Netflix special, followed by some outrage, and he said, boom, now you're vegan. That didn't save the world. Back to the drawing board. And oh man, he just spit all the real, because that's like my conversations I had with vegans long ago. But why am I setting up the video like that is because I realized through all my debates early on in my journey and everything, seeking the truth, which is man, I should put that song at the beginning of this, but with seeking the truth, I realized that, just like the song, man, look up the song Seeking Truth in Spriggan. It's so true, but it's you versus you. That's why Jesus said, when they remember, they hated me first, because you're coming out of the world. You don't conform to the world. It's not that like we don't have our own bills or things like that. It's just, you know how to take your energy back. You don't let people pull you out of your frame. No, you don't give into it. Let the dead bury their dead. If people want to complain and you know, complain about their job and all this, and not understand that they're multi-dimensional beings having a human experience, you got to let them do them, because you have realized it. You realized your power. You have to manifest destiny, or you get stuck here. And some people love playing the game, but it's you, man. This is a psychological battle with your lower mind, and that's all it is. There is no good and bad. You don't mess up. There is no mistakes. It's you against you. You are on your own timing. You're beating yourself. There's no time limit. There's no nothing. There's no time. You don't got to force anyone to understand you. You don't got to. No, if people around you think you're weird and they get it and they sort of understand, keep the ones around you that are sort of curious about this sort of thing, and keep them around, watch energy. But you know what I'm saying, because the ones that aren't meant to be in your life will fall off anyways. You should see how many people I lost, because I just realized, man, even to some of the ones that I would consider quote unquote the good people that have left, a lot of people don't understand this. And seeing that's the one true thing that I realized in the beginning of my journey, is that they don't see you like you see them. When you awaken, you see soul, but you got people running around here talking about, yeah, I see the soul of you. No, they don't see the soul, because we were connected in essence. I've gone to realms in these past months and literally hung out with gods. Like, I hung out with the essence that is Buddha, that took on the form of Buddha. When I was in Texas, I had a dream about Shiva and another god playing in the grass. And, and I say this because it was funny that people were there was somebody I met in Texas that told me I needed to get back in alignment. I'm like, oh man, spirituality is so commercial now. Like, there's other realms you experience. They're like the powers that they talked about, the miracles that, Jesus over there performed, and like Buddha. It's real things you could do. Like when I talked about the video, go look at my video, Channel Divinity. And so I'm just talking really passionate about this because I'm serious. I sat there and meditated. I candle meditated with my eyes open. And I said, there's gonna be a woman that needs to come and see me, but she's gonna be like me. She's gonna be like me. She's gonna need me. And I need this night to be interesting. I placed that intention, man, not even a couple hours later. And it was kind of an instant manifestation, because it brought one of my coworkers that I haven't met yet, that ended up talking to me about all this deep stuff and telling me about her ex and like hexes, and whoo, it was dope. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. And I was like, yo, I think it was you. And like, we started talking. She said, okay, I'm gonna come back because I want to hear the rest of your story. Then after like a couple hours passed, she was still doing her runs. A lady came in crying. She had a different glow than everyone. Like, I could tell. I say this in the video. She literally had an auric field that was different. And I knew something was happening with this. We start talking, man, and the rest is history. And I tell you, because the people you're meant to meet, but the things you're meant to manifest, you will manifest. It's always creating, bro. And what I'm proud of to myself is never going out of myself. That's the one thing I could be proud of. No matter what I've said to people, whether I told them I love them, I love myself. Like, I've literally voice messaged certain people like, yo, I'm just in a state of love right now. And they'll probably think it's the weirdest thing. It's because I realized that a lot of people are not really awakened, bro. And I knew this, and me and my bro knew this, but I knew from the beginning of my journey, because when I started seeking truth, the words that people would use did not match. It didn't match. Like, grand rising, I say ashe, I queen, no, that's not awakening. Awakening is not becoming conformed to this world, because you came from a realm where none of this used to exist. So all the science is down here, whether it be the human design, astrology, even though, I knew the frames and I could take on the mask because I understood it. And I understand that the sciences and the words that everyone uses just where they're at in their journey, I always felt this weird little thing behind it, like people are still judging with astrology signs and everything. Okay, now you guys took the sciences that help you unlock your soul and just mixed it with the human language to be judgmental. Don't play with me, because I can break down anything that, and this isn't like an ego or spiritual thing. I'm just showing y'all the difference between divinity and the human mind, because the human mind, I remember someone saying it a long time ago. He's a master who transitioned, who said the human mind will not understand the divine mind, and that's why Buddha and many people were misunderstood, but then regarded as legends, because it seemed like their peace couldn't be shaken up. And that's literally me. It doesn't matter. I can move how I move. If you get offended at how I move, then that is you. There is no disrespect to you. It's all love, because I'm not even focused on what anyone thinks or cares like about me. I know what this system is. I know that we've been hyperlooping. I know that the matrix has been reset over and over. It's a harvesting field. You got trapped in a realm that you created. Your life and everything in it is you, what you created. This is you pushed out. You are experiencing what you considered heaven, because you walked out of heaven. We had an eternal state. And yes, there are avatars here that are just playing around with the game and playing with people. I did it on my other channel. I did a video where I showed Beyonce literally said it in her trailer. After having, first of all, I don't even think about Beyonce, but isn't it funny that I have a dream of her when I'm in Texas? And nope, I don't fantasize celebrities and all that. I even tell you, from a kid, I used to get called weird from saying that. We are the real celebrities. I don't even think of Beyonce. So here's what's funny about that dream. And I'd never really told this on the main channel. I had a dream to go look at her music, because I was like at her festival, and she recognized me and brought me around the side and talked about something in the astral plane. Funny enough, I go to literally look at her channel. Mind you, I also broke this down for someone and told them, yo, did you see Beyonce's album where she literally put the 4 horsemen on the album and she's kind of trying to say something about the apocalypse? And I go and look at her trailer, Renaissance, and she literally says it in the trailer. She literally says, I can't be bound by this world. I go through the dreams. You can look this up. I go through my dreams and I find like energy to charge my NPC. What does she mean she finds energy to charge her NPC, her non-playable character? Call this schizophrenia or what you want, but that's why I say you're meant to ascend this world, bro. It's a whole game. And most of these celebrities, no, it's a game, because we all know each other. That's why I say, that's why I never praise them. I respect their work and what they've done as a creator here, because, you know, we're all creators, but I respect it, but I don't put myself under it, because they're just like you and me. We know each other in the astral realm. I've seen it. Like, I've literally met and talked. People tell me all the time that they have dreams about me. I'm telling you, we are travelers. We know each other. That's why I said, like, that's why I will tell certain people when I just like meet them, like, I know you. You don't know me in the way you know me, because you can't see it. But when you awaken, you see it. You see it. We know each other. Like, stop with the games. We came into physicality to play this whole little you versus you. There's no one outside of yourself. It's a simulation. It's a simulation. That's why it's you versus you. You're against yourself. You are your worst enemy and you are your best master. It's you. You're against yourself. And there's a lot of people that don't want to look within. I tell this story. I didn't tell this much, but I tell this story about this guy, dope ass beat creator. I was chilling at his house, his little mini studio. We were just chopping it up. This is when I was in Texas, and I remember him talking to me about when he realized what God was, and he felt this push and he needed a sign to do this like cliff jump thing into the water. When he told me about this story, we started talking about meditation and everything after, and how meditation and prayer are the same thing. Then he talked about, after this, he talked about how he doesn't feel like he's allowed to go that deep, or he doesn't feel like he deserves that. He was over here playing Fortnite. And I'm over here looking at him, I'm like, did you not just say to me that prayer and meditation are the same thing? And I love this dude, bro. I'm passionate about this, but so don't take my tone as, you know, like forceful or scary or anything, because I don't want to paint that picture. It's just you versus you, but you versus you is going to be one of the scariest things you do, because it's fear. Your fear of everything you've been programmed with isn't allowing you to take on a higher mindset. And listen to this. People have doubt that come up in their mind from outside perspectives. Who said you can't think you're the best inventor in the world? Who said you can't? It's not about anyone else. It's not about ego. See, you can tell who has taken on like the narcissism, spiritual ego type shit, and I would say narcissistic adjacent, because you know that 5% of the population is narcissist. And I'm saying that because something funny, but I said I wouldn't bring up the thing anymore. But I want to say that because, yeah, you can tell when someone like these spiritual ego narcissistic tendencies, it's like, I don't believe I'm better than anyone. I'm not better than anyone. But if I need to beat myself, I will tell myself I'm a god over the lower self. And we're gods in essence, man. The Bible even tells you. And I love that now because I just recently read it. I used to just take the quotes from it and go, look at this, like I'm awakened and I understand what this means. But then when I read it and seen, no, if Jesus was here today, he would be stoned more. He'd probably be shot because it was from their time. But he was saying some raw stuff, man. He came and flipped tables. And that's exactly what I feel like I'm here to do all the time when I bring it. You know, I watch my brother, Life is a Dream, and he even says it, man. Like when he says like there's one person watching these videos right now that is really getting what I'm saying, I really be feeling like he's speaking to me. I talked to him the other day, and I only say this right now because I've like going back to that thing, like I want to talk to the real you, like I know you, like I know you in essence. I told him one day, because we already talked on Zoom, but I was like, yo, let me know when like you get the Instagram up because I can't wait to talk. And he goes, oh, don't worry, I know we're gonna talk one day. It's like, man, I got deja vu. I know exactly what he means. I got chills right now when I'm saying it because I know it's like reality's about to like feel like it's falling apart when I talk to this dude like one-on-one instead of that Zoom call. But that Zoom call was even beautiful, and even there it showed that there were different dimensions of how it was you versus you. I was literally explaining my experience about like this woman in chat asked the other day, like, why did Jesus eat with Judas? And I told the story. Jesus knew Judas would betray him and he still ate with him. And the reason is because you can't be touched by this world, bro. That's why I said anyone could do anything to me. I'm realizing that now. Call me crazy because I'm willing to die for love. I don't care. I don't care. This world isn't real. And we got stuck conforming to it to where we can yell at each other when money isn't met. We can get mad when this person doesn't do this. We could judge people because of the clothes and everything that they buy. I've known this for years, man. And what I love about, my bro Tone is that when he was bringing this to the table, he even said it. I've never met like another person like me among my journey. I've met people that resonate, but I've never seen someone who went through it like me. And that was the synchronicity of me meet him because that was me in the beginning of my journey. If you hear my story, I even say it. I wasn't conformed to the world before I even realized I was a spirit having a human being experience. I didn't care. I never cared for material things. That's what made beating my lower self even harder because I combined my awakening with, I was already out of the world. But no, it went a lot deeper than just material things. It was judgments I still had left over, childhood trauma that you had to overcome. You know what's so crazy? B.O.B. said on his album, and this is why I give him so many shout outs, because he'll just plainly tell you in his songs, he doesn't give a fuck. He literally said, you don't know me, you just know my trauma. That doesn't mean you know me. And he went a little bit harder, but I don't want to swear too much in this song. But same, I've told people of my trauma that I've overcome and they used it against me. Think about that. We're in a world where they can do that. That's why I say I don't judge. No one can do anything to you. It's not even personal. They just don't understand. But it's very true. You just know my avatar and you know what you think Rel is. Half of the people on YouTube still think you're dealing with Lunar. Lunar isn't even here, bro. It is an ego I created. And through that creation, you've seen me manifest things. We're not real. This is the dream. This is what I try to say. It's a dream. It's a mere reality. You could be whoever you want tomorrow. But because you've taken on concepts way too strong and way too dense, you still think you're the same person that you went to sleep and woke up with. But no, time doesn't exist. Only the now exists when you're conscious of it. So when you wake up, you're a new person if you chose to be. If you had the power to completely shift your perspective, you could wake up and choose like, you know what? I'm not going to go to work today. I'm going to run away. But I'm going to go live in the forest, what people say, right? But guess what ropes them right back in? I got bills though, and I got this, and what if I die? And it goes back to survival. It goes back to all that. You've been conditioned by this world. Because there are the people that wake up and say, you know what? Screw the system. And they create their own business or they follow their passion and they get out of if they don't like their 9 to 5. But I've met people that like their job. So, there's just this whole misconception. That's why I say all this misinformation, all these spiritual concepts, all these this, all that. I started to feel like I'm rapping. But all of these concepts, all of this mixing, all of this, all of this information, all these manifestation techniques, like all this stuff online is distracting you. It's all bending you to your knee. Like, fuck that stuff. Get up, breathe, take back your power because that's what it is. That's what it is. From astrology to the human design, to this, to that, to the age of the soul, to this, to old soul. I'm a this, I'm a title. But one bar that I like B.O.B. said is if we sleep inside of a dream, but if I didn't have a name, then what would you call me? Exactly. What would you call me if you didn't have a name for it? We don't have names, man. It's energy, it's resonance. You know, I hear some people they be channeling the wildest stuff, but like some people get too attached to it. Like, I love it. There was another woman that I talked to the other day that I'm still kind of thinking in my mind if I want to make videos with her or not. We're ready to collab, but I don't know how much we're going to shake stuff up. But I don't know if I want to do videos with her yet. Nothing on her. It's just me. Because again, like I'm odd, like yeah, but we talked about something like people wanting to jump to call themselves Pleiadians and Lumerians and this. It's like, bro, be you. Call yourself, let me think up of a name. Call yourself Rebecca, and Rebecca become a god. Undress Rebecca. I'm gonna use my bro Ron, but he's already a god, man. Ron. Call yourself Ron and become a god, man. Because you're Buddha, you're Jesus, you're Christ, you're the energies. Those energies are just you, bro. It's not outside of yourself. People are thinking they're separate and they're like, oh, my Lord and Savior is going to come back from me. No, your Lord and Savior was telling you how to get out. And if he told you what he really meant, you wouldn't think he was a Lord and Savior. My man was saying the craziest things, like just straight up. Let the dead bury their dead. People don't even understand. Like, they do understand it to a degree, but they don't embody what it means. There are people that understand it, but people don't embody it. When he was saying, let the dead bury his dead, I went through that, bro. I had visions forever of my grandma about to die. I knew the day she was gonna die. I knew she would be in the hospital. I knew what they would say to my family. I had dreams of it all. It was crazy. And when she died, not a tear from me, because I had to go through that recurring nightmare every day. Like, it was like preparing me for her death, because it was like my higher self knew that I had a real connection to my grandma, because it was the connections that we made here that will trap you here. That's the whole let the dead bury their dead. When she finally passed, not a single tear, bro. I'd even have tears after the dreams. I was waking up bugging out. Like, why am I seeing her dead? Why am I seeing her dead? Why am I seeing her dead? I could only go to myself. But then when it happened, I knew everything. I knew exactly what it was. It was let the dead bury their dead. Because when she died, I was like, oh, she just left the physical. She out. She's home. She's home if she didn't get trapped coming back to reincarnation, or unless she wants to play the game again. But after that, man, I had so much connections with her. Like, before I went to Minnesota and different places, I would have dreams with her holding her hands on my shoulders, looking at my YouTube and being so proud of it, because she didn't get to see Lunar Was Lost. She didn't know anything about it, really. So, you know, in the astral, it's good to feel that she knows about it now when I call on her, because it's basically me calling on her. Because, you know, spirits really don't want anything to do with this world, really. It's really when you call them in the question, because they're back to their infinite self on the other side. Like heaven, man. It's a plane, man. You feel all this resonance there. Like, we left that. That's what I laugh about when it comes to this whole conversation. But that's how you know it's you versus you, because it's literally like, how are Buddha, Jesus, any of these like people who became masters or liberated beings, as Muji puts it, how did they get the level of understanding they did? They had to go within. They knew that, look, on this journey, people are going to misunderstand me and not understand like they're probably going to take them as teachings, but they become realized like, as you actually have an awakening. How do you think they got this information without going to certain books or reading certain texts? And they just, because you realize it when you wake up. Like, you realize things like, oh, not everybody's awakened. Oh, we got little psychic gifts. Oh, this, you can realize all this without books. And that was the question I had for years. That's why I went to so many different groups of spiritual people to find it. I went through everything, man. I went through every religion and thing that existed. I looked up gods of Hawaii. I looked at, man, I went in. That's why I know it's you versus you, because you're the one at the end of the day. When you walk away from a debate, guess who's going to be feeling good or feeling bad about what happened or not feeling satisfied? You. That's something to look at. Who's going to wake up in the middle of the night sad over their girlfriend that left them? You. Who's going to wake up in the middle of the night sad over their boyfriend that left them? You. Who's going to wake up in the middle of the night sad that they lost their mom? And you. Who lost their dad? Who didn't have a dad? Who this? Trauma. It's you. You have to handle it yourself. You can go to therapy. Like, I talked to somebody the other day who said, oh, I don't really understand who people who talk down on therapy. And I said, see, I knew exactly that you were going to miss what I was saying. And it's kind of funny that I bring this story up because I knew that they took what I said wrong when I said therapy is just like a band-aid solution. And it is, because there's a quote that literally says, you're like, it's a quote where somebody said it, where your therapist has a therapist. I heard someone say that before, and it's true, because it's like yeah, every, you know, healed, some therapists can be healed, but I remember talking to a girl who was becoming, like, going into psychology and therapy because she wanted to handle her own stuff, and nothing bad with anyone who likes therapy or anything like that, but at the end of the day, you're meant to be your own therapist. You can get these psychology books and all of these books online and read and do it for yourself, and sometimes it does help to connect and talk to other people, but you, at the end of the day, therapists just make you realize your own power within you. And this isn't me talking down on therapy or anything, but you're gonna realize that one day that they're just trying to literally point you already walk into therapy knowing your problem. It's like you just don't want to accept it. It's fear of self. People have so much fear of self that they don't want to go within themselves to get the answer. They need someone on the external of them to help them find the answer to themselves, but that's a question you can't be at, like, they can't answer that for you, and no matter how much they point and get closer, they won't be able to answer. It won't be satisfying enough. It's like you'll feel good, like listening to a song. That's what, like, therapy is, listening to a really good song, going on a nice nature walk. That's what it is. And if that helps somebody, more power to them. I don't talk down on all that, but I realized for me it wouldn't work, because when I went to therapists early on in my journey, like early, you know what I got? Indigo children. I got that I was a star seed. I had certain therapists that understood it. They knew that my mind was just not of this world anymore. I understood concepts and internalized reality of this is a simulation, it's a game. And with that, I realized that my meditation practices and all the things that I took off could no longer hurt me. It doesn't matter, man. I used to, like, this, like, I tell y'all this, it's stuff as small as your shoes being stepped on and not caring. It's things that you have not dealt with in your childhood. It's everything that's conforming you to this world. Like, I realize it. I take no thought in what I eat. I just sustain the body. That's it. I take no thought in what I wear. I just put it on. That's what it is. You can have the stuff, get the money, but don't be attached to it. You know, they tell you in the Matrix, like Cypher literally was somebody who reached the top. I've met Cyphers in my life. You remember how Cypher betrayed Neo? Quote unquote betrayed Neo? He told the agent to plug him back in the system. And he said, even if I know the stake and everything is fake, it tastes damn good. Like, I want to experience it. Plug me back in. You know why Cypher said that? He wasn't ready to wake up. That's why a lot of people aren't ready to realize that little truck you drive is fake. That little house you got, it's fake. Your house does not make you better than your neighbor. It's fake. Your clothes don't make you better than another person. It's fake. Even your talents here, they're beautiful and do them for you if it's really you. But your talents don't make you better than anyone. It's fake. It's not real. Me, I'm not better than any of you in this video. I've had my trauma. I've had my fair share of people that I've done things that they deem that I hurt them. I have done things that I've regretted in the past, where I was like, damn, I did that. But hey, gotta move forward. Can't blame myself. Like, I'm a human. Nobody had a manual to this. You had your life laid out because you chose the obstacles and things you would go through, but you gotta forgive yourself. It's the lower self that's addicted to, like, man, I did this and this and that. It's addicting. People don't realize it's addicting. We're drug addicts to the conditions we made. We're drug addicts for that pain. People don't see that. People think that's like a weird or odd concept to hear. No, people who hurt want more hurt. It is what it is, because they're staying in what's familiar. Oh, my parent hurt me, so now I manifest a partner that hurts me. I have a lovely fucking video of this, but I can't put it out. I can only put it out with her permission, so I wouldn't want to put it out because she said I'd have to blur her. But I had a partner who, her mother did something to her dad, and she ended up doing the same exact pattern to me. That's why I tell you, it's you versus you. It's never personal. People are living out what they recognize. That's why I can't judge anyone, no matter what. I'm me at the end of the day, and if that triggers people, then that's what comes with it. Because I came out of the world, I can't conform to it, and I won't go back. I'm gonna enjoy the things while I'm still here in all the process, but I know this shit's not real, and I don't connect to it like Cypher. I don't care. There was a point in time where it was during, had to cut that part out. It was during a sickness where during it, like none of us had the sickness, but funny enough, we lost our taste and smell. And what we realized is it was testing us to use our imagination to get our senses back, to use our imaginations to heal. Because if you look at, you know, law of attraction, manifestation, all this, that's what it is. You're using the five senses in your imagination to bring experiences to you. And it was funny. It was funny that we realized this, and then there were like certain ascended masters, we'll say, for lack of a better terms, who told us, yeah, like that's what it was. It was really to test how much you really believe in this, because all these miracles with people healing the body with, you know, frequencies and all that, man, like, dude, telling y'all, man, like, it's so, like, you are much more powerful than you think. Your mind is, it's the universe. The mind is the all, man. Anyways, that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. It's you versus you. No one outside of yourself, no one outside of yourself can do it like you. You got to do it. Oh man, I've been talking for a minute. Much love in Moonlight. I'll see y'all. I'm out.